Travelling through Aceh and North Sumatra is an important part of our work, visiting patients for aftercare and seeing new children. The awful travelling conditions never cease to amaze us, and when the team go on a road trip, they never know how many surprises are in store for them. The car eventually made it over the river, and a few kilometers on, we met a new family. Their daughter's name is Juliana, and she is 13 years old. The family live in such an isolated part of Sumatra, they had never heard about our project. Nafi, the key member of our team, takes down the details for the doctors. The family are extremely poor, and were very happy to know that their daughter would receive a free operation. The next journey was just a few kilometers to see Prandi. We had visited Prandi many times before. Emma, our nurse, joined the team for the journey as Prandi was often very sick and was suffering from malnutrition. The family are extremely poor and could not afford the milk supplements that he needed. We supplied the supplements to fatten Prandi up so that he would be fit enough to have his operation. The next part of the journey was by raft. In some places on the west coast, roads and bridges were completely washed away by the tsunami. The team were on their way to see Farhan, who was operated on a year ago. Eventually they found him. His family had lost everything in the tsunami, but now they have a new house and Farhan has a great smile. Another hair-raising journey of just a few kilometers to see Mutaza. When we first met Mutaza and his family nearly 4 years ago, they had lost everything in the tsunami, and they were still living in a camp in Banda Aceh. Mutaza's family were too traumatized to make the long journey to Siantar, and sadly he went without an operation for years. Mutaza eventually had his operation in Banda Aceh last year when he was 14 years old. Aceh had been devastated by both civil war and the tsunami, so doctors and medical facilities were scarce. 5 years on from the tsunami, hospitals have been rebuilt to a better standard, and Dr. Bismidi, a local plastic surgeon, is working with us carrying out very good operations. Dr. Bismidi had the opportunity to go to Siantar while the Dutch doctors were there, to learn from their skills and experience.
Where is the now? Can you show me?
Some of the most difficult operations were carried out while Dr. Bismidi was there. Once again, registration day and all its chaos arrives at Harapan Jaya. Hiding in a quiet corner of Harapan Jaya, busily tending to the chickens, is Fernandez. We found him 3 years before, begging for money on the streets of Siantar. Both his parents had remarried and he was left with his grandmother, who was too poor to keep him. Fernandez is now a very happy young man who loves volleyball and is doing really well at school. A monthly sponsorship has been given to Fernandez to help pay his way at Harapan Jaya and at school. Now he is coming into his 17th year. Serious conversations are held about what he wants to do next. If he wants to go on to further education, more funding will be needed for his future. Wira was taken on the long journey from central Aceh to get to Harapan Hospital in Siantar. He had both a cleft lip and palate. Wira made a speedy recovery and was soon healed and ready for speech therapy. Not every child has the chance of speech therapy, as many parents are keen to leave as soon as they can after the operation. We always try to encourage families to stay longer, as skills can be taught to both children and parents to help improve their speech. A few months later, a road trip was arranged and we went to see Wira in central Aceh. He had healed well and was looking very good. Sami Aji had both his lip and palate operated on last year. His cleft was so severe that he had major problems eating, which caused malnutrition, which in turn caused many other problems. He is very sensitive to bright light and had his eyes covered while the dentist examined him. Sami Aji lost almost all his teeth and had to have minor surgery twice to remove 2 teeth that were embedded in his jaw. Sami Aji will be fitted with false teeth after his wisdom teeth appear. Alex and his father were both very happy with the news that at last they had got help with the cost of Alex's operation. Alex is 14 years old and his family had given up hope of ever finding a way to help their son. It wasn't long before the doctors realized that Alex's father was very sick, and while Alex got his health checks, his father was also admitted to hospital. Alex's checkup was fine, and his operation could go ahead, but the doctors were very concerned about his father. Alex's aunt looked after him while his mother was looking after his father in a nearby ward. Sadly, Alex's father was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and besides helping him with medication for the pain, nothing more could be done to help him. Alex's father was devastated by the news, but was very happy to see that his son had the operation they had all wanted for so long. Alex healed well and was moved to Harapan Jaya Rehabilitation Centre. He was very nervous about his new face and was frightened that it might split open if he laughed too much. His father discharged himself from the hospital to be in the comfort of his own home. A few months later, our team went to see Alex and his family. Alex was doing really well, and the results from his operation were fantastic. Shortly after our visit, Alex's father died. Meanwhile, operations continued at Harapan Hospital. Angginta was having a blood test and was not enjoying it. Fernando was having his medical examination at the same time. Both boys come from the same village. They are both 8 years old and are the best of friends. They were eating their last meals before their operations, and their mothers were making sure they ate every last bit to keep their strength up for their operations. The next day, when Angginta went in for surgery, Fernando was already recovering from his operation. Back in their ward, Fernando and Angginta were recovering well. Their transformation is amazing. 2 very happy young boys.